You don't need to understand a lot of things to come to meditation. It is very, very simple. It is simply sitting down with our eyes closed and observing the breath. There cannot be anything more simpler than this meditation that we're going to practice. And then that simply, when you close your eyes and observe the breath, and then automatically mind is becoming empty. The goal of the meditation is to clear the mind. And so the clear mind helps us to gain clarity. A clear mind stops interfering into the body functioning. And so health becomes greater and greater, and then clarity develops.
But a greater joy than spreading this message of meditation. As we always keep saying, Annadana is important, Vidyadana is important, but Dhyana Dana is the most superior thing. With that, everything you can get. You don't depend on anybody.
Yeah, truly friends, I suggest and recommend that this is the best thing which can happen to one's life, to really surrender to this process by keeping the analytical and judgment mind out of it and really enjoy this to take all the benefits.
So when you change your brain waves, you change your state of being, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And of course, that's what Chandra sir said in meditation. We just deliberately enter these alpha, theta, delta brainwave states where the mind is both very much aware but also deeply relaxed. And this is where the change happens.
Through this meditation, I also learned how to not take everything into personal. And I always keep reminding myself about the 4 agreements that Chandra sir mentioned. I feel like those 4 agreements are my Bible words. I can say that.
It's really exciting. Some of my key learnings so far have been acceptance and surrender, and also knowing the reasons behind what happens in our day-to-day life. The why aspect, the why me. So as Chandra sir aptly puts it, why not? So that has opened a lot of lot of wisdom and understanding about life.
Now I'm more optimistic and more happier, more joyous. I have manifested so many things in my life. My dream career, the way exactly I wanted it, I manifested it. In fact, sir, it even happens sometimes. I used to think, I wish it was like this, and it happened so beautifully. I think a universe listened to my inner whispers, and it manifested.
Now I look forward each day in my life. So I live a purposeful meaning and looking forward each day in my life. That is the greatest benefit I receive each day.
I used to have a lot of death fear. So I overcome my fears through meditation, and I used to have a lot of health issues. Those all the health issues have been healed through meditation.
However, through Buddha CEO, I discovered that meditation can benefit people like me, those who are struggling with repetitive and negative thoughts. By faithfully following the process and dedicating myself fully, I noticed significant change in my thought process within just 3 months.
And this is a beautiful, beautiful platform that helped me evolve emotionally. Now, I do not regret about the past or be anxious about the future. I have learned to be in the present moment.
Have seen benefits in terms of developing mindfulness. I don't have to remind myself for any event. I don't have to put alarm for that. I'm able to give my best at any moment of time just by setting intention. I also happen to heal my allergic condition that I used to have, having frequent throat infections. I just realized that it is not occurring anymore.
Good morning, good afternoon, and a wonderful evening, dear friends and masters. Welcome to our day 4 of our renewal journey. So lovely to hear. If you all noticed, every master said, just like Chandra sir says, just as I learned on this platform. And I'm so happy and grateful to be your host. Because of that, I'm here ahead of time and really enjoying this beginning, which usually all of us are like, oh, still they have a video to start. With that, dear friends, as we've learned this last 3 days about breath mindfulness meditation and how the practical tools, the meditation is the way to find this constant change and the challenges and everything that we want to manifest. And once we're doing meditation, mindfulness, you're able to bring that other wing of a bird where you have meditation and mindfulness, and how that 2 wings together grounds you for something more, something that we are seeking that's already seeking you. And as we all know, I used to always think that, evolvement of my spiritual being, and then going through this journey, realize that, as Eckhart Tolle says, that we are the spiritual being having this physical experience. So everything that I'm seeking is to understand this journey on the physical being so that I understand who really I am. And for that, with the help of meditation and mindfulness, we are ready to seek that knowledge so that we understand who really we are. And for that, how important it is through books, what knowledge we can gain. And for that, sir will share us today's wisdom session. Over to you, sir. Very warm welcome to all of you again. Thank you.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Great afternoon, evening. Why me to why not me must happen. A complaint must change to an appreciation. A lack moment must change to a gratitude moment. These things naturally will happen when we start learning. We are conditioned in one way about life, and so then that's the only way we look for. But meditation for the first time is helping us to just step back and then look at life, pause on things. Why not? When somebody scores 90, it is poor performance for some. It is an amazing thing for some. Why is that so? Why can't I be that amazing person at 90, or whatever, at 60, at 50? Why does it have to be differently? You'll not find any rationale behind, why is poor, why is it not amazing? You will not find any rationale if you just stop and then pause and reflect back. Because to begin with, what we've learned has no basis. There's no scientific basis why something is great and something is less. A pure conditioning. And so, dear friends, the first thing when I came in and I made in contact with Patriji, and forever grateful for the path he's shown, is learning the importance of knowledge. Yesterday, in the slides, we talked about, said wisdom and or knowledge or wisdom and meditation are the way for change in the shift in the mind, and so then shift in reality. And so he said, you got to read from everybody, not just me. There is infinite knowledge, and so then infinite people are there, the infinite things are there. If you want infinite dimension of experience, then of course you have to read from everybody. Recently, when I was there in a solitude meditation practice for myself, and I went in one of the ashrams in Rishikesh, Himalayas, I read this quote, one of the sentence from book. Now, 24 years later, I'm reading books continuously, and then it says, and you always find something, it says, if you are thinking you're going to change the world, establish world peace, solve problems of the world, and then do this, do that, then Mother, who is from the Aurobindo ashram, said, then you're not even a candidate for yoga, means meditation. You're not even a candidate for yoga. That is the profoundness that she has to saying that everything is happening from consciousness, this intelligent force. If you and I are thought very intelligent, and which we are practically minuscule, even from quantum physics, 0.000001101%, if we round it, we become zero. If you think we are intelligent, then how powerful, intelligent this field is. Human today does not have an understanding of this body. Not even small percentage we understand how this body of trillions of cells is working so beautifully. We don't have that understanding. Then this intelligence is powering things. And so then thinking that I'm solving this, I'm solving that, no, this is good for my daughter, this is the only way that can be done. Our tiny rational mind is thinking that it knows everything, but knowledge. And then when we understand meditation, that we have so little that we understand. That's what Patriji said. Enlightenment is to know that I know nothing. I know very, very little. And so there is so much to learn from everybody. Those sentences were deeply there when I started this practice. And I really loved his approach that go and read. Then he laid out a small framework and said, these are the things that are very good for. The framework is very simple, that you are much beyond this physical body. Number two, then you have infinite potential. It's you and me and everybody. It's not just in that statue, or it's not just in those special people who have lived in Himalayas and come back, or the Siddhis. It's for everybody, if you wish to want to experience it. And the third thing is that our thoughts and feelings are the key to unlocking this potential. Our thoughts and feelings are the key to unlock this potential. The mind is the bridge between the body to act and execute, and then the energy or the intelligence that is there to connect to, and then bring that inspiration to experience here. We call intentions, we call sankalpa, and all of that. So simple, this is the framework. So go and read any book, any master who is saying you're much beyond the body. They're not conditioning us, say, hey, this body, you got to take care of eating so many millets, so many this, so many that. Otherwise, you won't survive. That's not the wisdom. Then it restricts you, limits you. You are much beyond the body. You are infinite energy. Number two, in that energy, you have infinite potential. That's what is called from spiritual science. I'm not the body, I'm the soul. I have the Godhood in me. And then that infinite Godhood, the divinity that I can experience through my thought and feeling, if only I can change them, dear friends. And so with that understanding, I read many books. Patriji says he read 100,000 books. An average person is reading one book in every 6 months, whereas very successful leaders are reading a book in 2 weeks. Go figure. The knowledge is profoundly there when we start meditating and then read right books. And then I read Patriji, this book called Tulsi Dalam, long, long ago. He wrote in Telugu, then we got it published recently. It gives fundamental understanding of what are basic words that we use in our daily life. What is brahmacharya? Oh, it's renouncing life. Not at all. Meditation, oh, you give up things. Not at all. Everything is documented. Some of those concepts. What dharmas we have? Body dharma, sharirika dharma, sangika dharma, take care of family around you. Swadharma, take care of yourself. It's called tridharma concept. Take care of yourself, your intelligence, the inside you. Sangika dharma, your family and everybody around you. And then body dharma, take care of your body. Three dharmas. Are we giving any time to the inside? We only put all the time towards, Sangika dharma, earn money, 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 money. I don't take care of the body. That's all we are. Was there even a slight amount given to meditate, to take care of and nurture the spirit inside, the consciousness inside, that thing that gives us willpower, that thing that gives us intuition, our direction in life? And that thing builds so much energy into our body. How many people, by the way, since for 3 days or 4 days you are now here, feel there is some kind of energy that you are there. You feel more energetic than before. Please write in the chat. 3 days, few days later, my people feel that energy. And so I read this book in the beginning and it gave me a lot of clarity about some of the terms, particularly useful for those who are studying Indian culture, Indian philosophy. Even for those who are not Indian culture, it gives them tremendous amount of insight into. And then, of course, it also covers many, many masters worldwide who have done some grateful writing. And so it covers gist of some of those so that, from there you can go on, read those masters. One of the masters is Osho. I set aside his books. This book is called Book of Women. Amazing, amazing. There's Book of Men, Book of Children. So many books are there. And I set aside because I had this judgment in my mind long ago. But the very first book shattered everything I thought about him or whatever that's been projected. Is if you want to live life, and then you read his books, living life, what does it mean? How to simply be there, how to let go of things, how to be in great joy all the time, be mindful, be free from inside. This is the book gives you the strength and courage with a lot of humor and wit. But this is a book that helped me to transform. You can't see the title, but this is called Conversation with God by Neil Donald Walsh. It's not this book with 3 volumes, but I read the first volume. And then all answers came to me. This one book is called Conversation with God by Neil Donald Walsh. An amazing, amazing book, gives answers around every question of life. Friends, family, earning money, my birth, having children, lack of children, problems around society, what do you do with workplace? Everything is answered. Who are we? Where did we come from? Ultimately, friends, it comes to the same question. Have you even thought about and understood, why am I here? When Patriji came to our home long ago in the year 1999 or 2000, Vani was there. He asked Vani, what do you do? She said, I raise children. He said, that's what animals do. What is special about you? He's questioning and say, have you figured out who you are? That's what everybody does, basically, right? Raise children, produce kids, go to office, earn money, put living. But then is there something more? Or now at the end of 60, we come and say, okay, my life is over now. I retired. And so then what do we do? Then fall in dependency of somebody else. Or something more can I do? The moment you ask the question, dear friends, which is what our master said, ask, who are you? Then you will understand What's my purpose? There is something called fundamental purpose. If this particular fan remote, which is so beautifully helping me to stop the fan on the fan, it's got a purpose. You got to think that this human body, there's such an intelligent body that is not ever understood by the modern science yet, and will perhaps will never be understood just through the scientific understanding. Then what? There's got to be a purpose. It cannot just randomly come. This theory, randomness which just randomly evolved, is totally flawed. How do I know? If the purpose of life is to be there joyfully, then the meaning of life is to be there joyfully, to be of some meaning that gives us deep satisfaction, that comes only by asking the question. I never got it until the time I actually explored that. Now today, I live my greatest moments of my life. I work much more than when I did my corporate work. An IBM executive, I was working for many hours, but I work much more. I know this. But still, I'm the most satisfied and joyful person today. How is that possible then? Because I beautifully aligned to my purpose. So, dear friends, we take this as a very important practice. If you want to be really gain benefit of meditation, this program, then you ought to be looking at some books and start reading. We support you in the journey by introducing another parallel program to this called a book club. It's going to start, and some announcements will be made where somebody is going to read some books. Our amazing volunteer masters are doing this work. But there's no replacement for us to not start. And then this is why today we'll send a wisdom note. The wisdom note will contain, we curated 25 books. That's what helped me when I came in the year 2002. Patriji recommended a whole set of books. In one stroke, I ordered all the books. That month's salary, everything was kept for books. Everything. 1 month's salary was kept for books. 25 books came to my home. I read half of them in the first 6 months. I was happy. I understood. And so I wish that all of us look at this very importantly, that all the books. Now I have not even talked about this particular one, this master, Dr. Joe Dispenza, You Are the Placebo, Bridges Science and Spirituality. When I read this in the year 2014, again, Patriji, when you have sincerity, the master is always looking at you, is pouring his consciousness into you, and so right things come. I recommend this almost in the very beginning to me, among anyone in the PSS movement, I suppose. He said, Chandra, read this book. And then I read this, and it just cleared everything. Any rational mind wants to know how the simple sitting in the meditation, clearing your mind, and actually can bring miracles into your life. This talks about healing. If you read this, anybody has questions about health, they'll go away. Any chronic illness must heal when you read this book. Any chronic illness. Because it's got to do with tapping into the infinite possibility. It's got to do with elevating and then sending that energy to attract that possibility. And it explains beautifully how meditation does that. In fact, if I've got the power to speak, and I say I've got so much empowerment by reading and then listening and then learning from this master, Dr. Joe, and many masters of the similar nature that are there. They're called Bruce Lipton, Dr. Amit Goswami, Dawson Church. These are amazing masters doing amazing work in bringing science and spirituality into one, to amalgamate it, and bringing meditation, explaining various constructs scientifically, right? And so I'm deeply influenced by some of these masters, and then we continue to read, dear friends. So let's go into the practice of meditation. So during this, throughout this journey of these 40 days, if you can take on to reading parallel to you practicing meditation, and if you can listen to this wisdom, because wisdom comes from people, it comes from books. Books are nothing but somebody's experience for 30, 40 years. We read the book in 10 hours, but they must have spent 40 years and then finally writing it all in a few pages that we read in 10 hours. How beautiful is that? That you don't have to do the same 40 years of experimentation to know. I was there in this in this practice in the last 14 days. I'll tell you how we keep learning. It's not that, just because you read something, My feeling of this 14 days of meditation was that I know so little, number one. Now, I met this master, B.V. Reddiger. He said, if you can be the most ordinary person, in spite of whatever you do, and however extraordinary, however successful, however wealthy, rich, this and that you are, if you can be just simple man, simple ordinary person in among people, then you will be very contented. Then you will be greatly progress in spirituality. It's just a reminder again to me that we ground ourselves. We're not some special thing just because we got a title, just because my company exceeded, or just because we got a few hundreds of people or thousands of people joining our programs. We remain grounded. These things come to us when we are ready to listen to others, when we're ready to interact with others. And so, dear friends, all our masters, the facilitators are there. Ask them questions and ask them what books they're reading. Ask them what part of the book that has impressed them or that helped them to move forward. Right? Let's go into the practice again. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. We are doing the practice called breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to rest the mind. When you empty the mind by sitting comfortably with your eyes closed, fingers into fingers, hands rested in your lap, as you see in the picture, and then observe your breath. Then slowly we go into thoughtless states, less thought states to slowly thoughtless states. That thoughtless state you may not notice, you may not be aware, but you will go. Sometimes you are aware. How do you know? I don't experience anything around me, or I experience some kind of movement, energy, feeling, intensity of some kind of vision. They're also equivalent to thoughtless state. I'll explain that later this week. What is this emptiness? But all I can say is a state where you're deeply calm, or a state where you're experiencing something unexpected, like a dream, like a vision, something that you're not thought, or like, some physical body sensation, which is just happening to you. Witness all of it as you go into this emptier, less thoughtful states. Witness everything that happens to you without interpretation. In case you have thought, come back to the breath and again start the process all over. We call breath meditation. We're going to practice again. Relax yourself. Sit comfortably, dear friends. Relax your body with your eyes closed. Be with your breath. Play light music. It helps us to go into deeper meditations. Dear friends, dear masters, we are going into this powerful group meditation Merge into your breath. When you observe your breath, our mind becomes calmer, our body deeply rests, going into balance, coherence, and yourself. To merge into your breath. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience emptiness inside of you, all around you. If you notice thought, go back to observing your breath. Merge into the emptiness of yourself. This is your greater mind consciousness. The field of all connection. The more you are with it in this emptiness, the more divine you become. Friends, at this time, let's express gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Can you express gratitude to your parents, your teachers, mentors, for expanding our knowledge and wisdom? Knowledge is precursor to experience. Your deep gratitude to everyone in your life for helping you learn many things. Man kingdom, the mineral kingdom, the animal kingdom, the angelic kingdom. For all that energy, all that beauty, mystery, and more. Gratitude to the technology, the system, the companies, the governments, for they make our lives so comfortable. Gratitude to yourself for exploring consciousness and to this intelligent universe for helping us experience this life. Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What did you see? Whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoyed the session. One more time, another half an hour of meditation. I'm going to go slightly up in this program. 35-40 minutes, and Sundays we'll do longer meditation, an hour plus. And I promise you, it'll just go like that. This process is chatting with somebody. This process requires that you accept thought as part of the meditation process. When you are closing your eyes, when you observe the breath, you have incessant stream of thought. If you have, you observe the breath. Thoughts continue to come. You observe the breath. Thoughts continue to come. You get distracted. You go into thought. When you recognize thoughts are there, come back to the breath. I want you to pay close attention. Can you accept thoughts as part of the process? Suppose I told you your meditation is your child is walking up and down. Observe the child hold for the next 30 minutes. Observe the child up and down walking. Can you do that? I'm not saying observe when the child is stopping. I'm asking you to observe the child moving. And if you do that, then we are saying similar. Observe your breath when you see something is moving. So you go to the next step. Child is moving, observe, but when child is moving, come to the breath. Child is stopping, be there. Notice it. Can you do that? When a child is moving, I'll say an instruction, observe the breath. When a child stops, then just look at it. If you do that, the child is equal to thought. There's no judgment about how many thoughts you have. If I ask you to watch your child, they're moving, be in your breath. They're stopping, look at them. Now, does that instruction say that child should not be moving for the 30 minutes? It just says if they're moving, be with your breath. If they're stopped, observe that. So there's no instruction. We are telling you that thoughts won't be there. So why are you bothered about when thoughts are there? And so, sir, then I'm not able to do because you're thinking thoughts should not be there. The instruction is when thoughts are there, be with the breath. When thoughts are not there, be there. So can you accept the thoughts are there? They will be there. And so then I'll just simply go to breath. Can you do that? Can this be more simpler? If you do that, dear friend, then you will not judge and say it is becoming difficult because you think it has to be no thought. Did I say that? Thoughts are there, come to breath. How about that? Please write it down. It becomes hard, it becomes tough, it becomes discouraging, it becomes useless when we recognize and say, oh, I am just not able to stop my thought, control my thought. Not at all. Because you want to stop, you want to control, you have the urge to go that empty state. It'll happen. Observing the child to stop, child will decide to stop when they want to stop, not you. Can you not observe? The moment child is moving, go to your breath. When the child is not moving, then observe. That's what you're saying. Until the child is moving, be with the breath. When the child stops, be there. Look at it. But for that, of course, you have to be with the child. The moment this moving, then go to breath, they stop, then look at them. This is the simple understanding. If we can gain, and if you can accept thoughts as part of my meditation process, they are beautiful. You know, mind is the greatest creator. Mind creates. Of course, negative and positive, they will change in due course. You are here, 40 years of life is over. Now you come here and then 30 minutes of sessions you want to master and say now everything is going to happen? Give it a little bit of time, be gentle to yourself, love yourself, and say, it's fine, now come here for this. And like all things, there'll be some time to learn and practice, and I'm going to be in it. Just recognize and acknowledge yourself. You're here, the greatest being. You know, there are basically unlimited, any number of energy entities are looking for a physical body to enter. We are so grateful to be entering into a body. That itself is a miracle. That itself means that we have done something special to be here, to be learning through it, dear friends. So we will introduce some of the other facilitators, but I wanted to complete. Yesterday we said meditation and wisdom will help us to shift the mind and change the mind. And what does that mean? What does that mean? And how is it changing? How is it changing? So I'll take a few minutes and then I'll introduce our facilitators, remaining facilitators. So we said meditation, wisdom, shift mind, change reality. This is where we stopped yesterday. We said there are three minds are there. Can anybody write what are the three minds in the way we understand this in the chat? Yesterday we said three minds. There are three minds. We said a subconscious mind, which is very limiting in nature, all limitations, beliefs. Let's say I'm good for nothing, I can't stop my thought. That's a limitation you're forming already. The limitations are formed when you do something repeatedly. If you try 3 times or 4 times and you suppose that something doesn't happen that you want, then you say it's not possible by me, or it's impossible, that doesn't work. That's a limitation. That's exactly what we're saying. A belief is formed just like that at the drop of the hat in everyday life. As you encounter people, traffic, governments, you go to a government office and you try 4 times, then you say, man, this is like so true. It is so impossible to do anything here. And you know what? There are so many articles have come. Then we try to argue to our limitation to justify all of that with all the articles, pointers, the memories that are there in our past. Because mind also works like that. It tries to help you to form a fact in your subconscious so that it can operate for you whether you are there or not there. It's an autopilot mechanism given to us beautifully. The question is, what kind of facts that I've put in there? Is it a limiting fact? Is it an expanding fact? Is it a useful fact or a useless fact? And a useful thing is, that every day I wake up and then take a few minutes to pause and reflect. It is so good for the neuroregenesis. Your brain circuits regenerate. I'll take a few minutes to just reflect. A useless thing is, for example, to say, oh, I'm crossing a cat, I stop because the cat is going to do some bring negative omen to me. Does it have a rationale? We formed a belief, then you stop. You lose 10 minutes just for that. The same 10 minutes you use to read Genesis. There you're ready to give 10 minutes to stop and start, but we're not ready to give. So the question is, what did we put in our brain? That's a limitation. The limiting mind has to change. The conscious mind is randomly, erratically dissipating all the energy through all this thought, because every thought is energy, electromagnetic energy. And so then we save that. It also creates negative things. And one mind brings miracles, and we've forgotten, we don't even know. In 1700s, when the industrialization came, all the subjectivity, consciousness, God stuff, everything disappeared in the textbooks. And so now became very westernized. We think that unless I touch and feel and see, nothing exists. Unfortunate, but then it'll come back. Nothing is unfortunate, but things are happening in the best way so that we all collectively raise to recognize and say, there is this beautiful consciousness, intelligence, which is behind me, which is supporting me in every step of the way. It's called awareness. And so we need to connect back to it, dear friends. So meditation is, and this knowledge, just this knowledge I'm talking today, will help us to ease ourselves into sitting for longer in meditation, even if thoughts come, isn't it? Knowledge is not there, we drop meditation. So the thing, the model is, when our mind is mapped into a iceberg in our brain, the mind is mapped an iceberg. The tiny subconscious, that yellow color lemon shades thing, is a big iceberg bottom below the surface. It's a big iceberg is there, and then tiny tip of the iceberg is noticed outside, but the big iceberg is inside. So while inside it is very small in physical matter perspective in our brain, but then that is actually driving 90%. What does it drive? Your routine thoughts, your routine feelings, your behaviors, your beliefs, habits, perception, judgments. And the bottom side here. Whereas the top, the conscious mind, the beautiful conscious mind given to humans, the greatest gift humans have compared to animals, is to use them in the most logical way. They use it in the most illogical way to kill animals, to do sport on animals, to build aquariums to stop the fish from living their beautiful life and then have them in our home. We don't want our freedom to be taken away, be put in a cage. Imagine how it will be if we put in a cage for the lifelong. Oh, it's so nice, the fish is moving. Yeah, somebody else will also watch us in a cage and say, oh, this intelligent human is moving around here. But this logic and reasoning and willpower, learning, these things are there to do a beautiful creation. Only humans have it. But the thing is, according to research, now we use only less than 10% of it. All of our events are happening through subconscious mind, which is fixed to certain things that it's conditioned to. That poor child doesn't want to eat egg, but mother is forcing, eat, because she also didn't know. She thought that is the only way to get protein. The egg, life, destroying life. The child doesn't want because they know that is not right. They don't have something inside is deeply there. Feelings are telling them because their consciousness that don't destroy life. You have so many other things to get everything into the body. And so that is a belief that is formed in there because that is a conditioning thought that is given to us. And so we operate through subconscious. Meditation drops the analytical mind, which is stopping us from going and learning newer things, which disturbs our personality. And instead, it helps us to look at and reprogram our subconscious mind with the newer facts that are useful. Suppose a statue is there. If consciousness is there everywhere, why do you say it is only in the statue? Why do you say it's got to be my God? Is there any rationale for it? It's there everywhere. If the consciousness is there everywhere, why do you say it's only here? It's only in that particular place. Isn't it? I mean, it has no meaning. It is there everywhere. And so then that is a limiting thought. That's a belief. No. The statue, I have to go and then prostrate in front of it. Otherwise, God is going to punish me. It's a belief formed, and so we simply operate without in thinking whether it has a meaning or not. But then, however, if you have a real faith in it and say, this is that intelligence is just a representation. And so I keep my logical mind aside and I'm fully merging with it. And so that's true bhakti. You go there, then there is a meaning. Just simply doing rituals and simply go cut flowers, even remove the beauty, and then go in there and just offer without any meaning, thinking 1,000 other things in our mind while doing it, has no meaning at all. We're simply doing as a belief, ritual. That's subconscious. Waste of time. When you have all these limited, unwanted, wasteful habits and wasteful behaviors that are there, and so they're simply waste of time. That's not going to get us. So, dear friends, meditation helps us to look into what is that useful thing I have inside of me. It's called your personality. What is that useless thing? And it'll slowly help you to change the useless to more useful. The second aspect is the right side graph I want you to see. As you meditate, the brain waves, the thoughts in our brain go down from a very stressful frequency waves to a more useful, creative, relaxing, healing waves. So our thoughts are, as you said in the earlier, thousands of thoughts. Many of them are stressful. They have a frequency. They drop. The second thing, then you are this focused attention, which is high alert beta state. They also slowly drop. You go down further. This is where you go into the magical part of meditation. And for this to enter, you got to drop your analysis. That unwanted analysis, constantly logic. The logic has to drop for the magic to begin. That drops. And so then you are into this fast learning state, alpha. You learn, you relax, you get ordinary solutions to life problems, just like that. Then you go further. You have many creativity insights, something that are unusual, things that are there. This is where the discovery of inventions are happening. Creative insights. Innovation happens. This is where you're actually traversing infinite dimensions and then knowing, meeting people, learning knowledge. You're meeting masters in meditation, meeting people who left, departed in meditation, and then learning from them symbolically or many ways. Then you go further down. Delta is a deep sleep state where your body heals. This is a state, absolute calmness, blissful. Everything is that state. When you felt that you don't want to come out of meditation, you're going into this deep state of delta where you are absolutely there, one with the whole. Dreamless sleep state, healing state. You read the book Mind to Matter, explains what happens in delta state beautifully. So many hormones get produced. Anti-cancer hormones are produced right there if you're able to get a sound sleep. Not with medication, with meditation. And then gamma is a peak performance state, where our brain circuits operate at significantly at different levels. And we go into this flow state and do the best performance possible. For meditators, go into flow states more often. So, dear friends, so meditation, and then there's a lot more research we will cover along the way as we go in this program. There's a lot more research that we'll cover every week and every topic. So let me come to introduce our remaining facilitators. Yes, and then we'll end this another 5 minutes or so before I conclude for today. Lavanya, madam.
Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening, my dear friends and masters. My name is Lavanya Vallabanini, and I have been facilitating Renew WhatsApp groups, I think it's group 5 and 18. So I have recently started and completed the L1 and L2 courses from the Buddha CEO Foundation. And it has been 1.5 years I started doing meditation, and it tremendously changed my personal life, professional life, and also like my spiritual life as well, which is not anticipated by me. I never thought that I will be into this. In order to say how this meditation helped me in my personal life, I would say it helped me to slow down, and also it helped me to have the awareness of my thoughts and actions that I have been doing. And it really helped me to overcome my time anxiety that has been with me from my childhood. Like even being late for even 5 minutes, like how upset I used to be. So those kind of small things, I did get a chance to overcome of those in my personal life. And coming to the professional journey, it helped me to handle pressure with a lot of calmness. And I would say, like earlier me, I used to really hesitate to say no when I get something from the leadership, even though I feel I didn't like that. If I didn't like that, I still feel hesitate to say no to them. But now with this meditation, I overcome that feeling, and I'm able to go to my leadership people and say, okay, this is what I think. I want to add up my words to them and get the inputs for my leadership as well. So I would say it definitely improved my focus, and also it definitely improved my decision making skills, as I mentioned, like how I'm
Yes.
interacting with people and all.
Yes, they will hear more from you in your
Yes.
next week breakout room. Please go ahead. Which groups you represent? Your groups.
I think I have covered that, sir. I represent Renew Group 5 and 18.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lavanya madam. Yes, Geetanjali madam.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity to facilitate this renew once again. I'm so glad to be here on this platform and doing this job. The groups which I represent is Renew 4 and Renew 17. So please, I request all of you to feel free to ask for help anytime or any kind of discussion which is going to happen over there. Talking about the meditation practice, let me tell you the topic which Sir covered today about the limiting belief. I was a person who always started the job with the worst possible outcome in the mind. I don't know, somewhere I had heard that, and that remained with me in my mind was that do your best and prepare for the worst. And that always stopped me from reaching the best of me. And since I've come to meditation, and since especially when after I read this Stop Being the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza, my perspective has changed drastically. I've become a more free and a more open person. And I have started valuing myself more. I've started putting myself, at some level where initially I always put myself at the lowest possible level, even in a conversation or in a discussion. It's one thing to be in a listening mode, and it's one thing to put ourselves, at that point. But now I've become more assertive, more positive, and it has reflected in my career. It has reflected in my personal life as well. And the another thing which I've got rid of myself is of panic. I used to panic and think of worst possible outcome of a situation. These days, I've become more calmer and I've got to do so many things. It's a miracle. Like, I just had to go for a tour, and I wanted to visit Microsoft this time. When we went to Hyderabad, I had to take my students. But let me tell you, it was a difficult task. I got a no from so many people. But at one point of time, I remembered a friend of mine, and I just called him on a hunch that, can you do this for me? And I was so glad that I could go to that campus and visit that campus, for 3 hours with almost 70 people. And that was the first for that campus also. And this was something which I never imagined. I absolutely never imagined. It was a chance which I took. So thank you. Like, this meditation has really made me miraculous. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, sir.
Awesome. Awesome, madam. Everything happens. You develop an assertiveness. That's what Lavanya Madam was saying. You become courageous to express. When you express, things come because they trigger right thoughts. Thank you. Yes, Arunaji.
Yes. Good morning and good evening, Masters. My name is Aruna. I'm facilitating Group 6 and Group 19. And I've been practicing almost 3 years, practicing meditation for almost 3 years. And I live in St. Louis, Missouri. And I can also say that I have a big Buddha CEO family in St. Louis, along with Sonalji and Apurva ma'am. And coming to my meditation experience, I'll try to summarize in 2 minutes. So my journey started with again a 40 days program. Before that, I was introduced to meditation every other weekend with in a company with our friends Ramesh and Apurvaji. But then when I started my 40 days program, I first have to thank all of you, and also you have to appreciate yourself because this is a life transforming journey. Every 40 days program brings out so much of information to you. And when I started my 40 days program, I started experimenting why I have to do meditation and what is that I'm going to experience. And I had this questions to myself, but then I actually had started this journey with open mind. And what happens is slowly you move from a phase of despair and complaining more to a more peaceful and surrender and also a lot of hope, and you see a lot of beautiful aspects of your own self which is slowly unfolding through meditation. And the other beautiful part of Buddha CEO meditation is you will get to know the science behind meditation. And that is what Chandra sir just said about the wisdom. You need to have wisdom, and wisdom is knowledge is the precursor for experience. If you know why you're doing and you know what will happen, you will definitely stick to it. So please, friends, continue this journey because we all want to have a magnificent life, but without doing a everyday work, which is joining meditation classes and also reading books, you cannot go there. And it is everything is possible, and you will come to know that in this beautiful universe we are all connected, and once you tap into the conscious energy, your life will unfold beautifully and you will enjoy every moment of life. Thank you so much, sir, and Vani ma'am, for giving me this opportunity.
Awesome. So thank you, Aruna madam. And I know where are our other hosts? They have turned off the videos, facilitators. But yes, all of these masters have an amazing amount of understanding and wisdom about meditation. And they can help. So really encourage you to make use of the time. They are there, their phone numbers are there in the WhatsApp groups. They're driving. Each one drives 2-3 WhatsApp groups. And so you call them and have a conversation. If you have some challenge, if you have some understanding issue of anything, it's nearly not possible here with hundreds of people joining in these WhatsApp groups. The last we looked at, maybe 2,000 plus people are there in all groups together. It's not that easy to do everything here, but then you can, and then reach out to them. There are about 10 of them, and then there are many more behind them who can easily help. Just having a conversation can ease us out of the problem that we are thinking, because a lot of them can't start with understanding, right, friends? So please make use of them and their time and their wonderful volunteering help they want to offer. So thank you, yes, Sonalji, and announcements to conclude.
Yes,
And I will
sir.
listen to this great master, Kiran, and Nidhi Mehta, madam, is a program coordinator. Kiran is just amazingly beautiful, holds our technical hosting behind. We'll listen to them too as we go along. But by no means they are very, very successful in their organization and what they do. One is a senior officer, another is like one of the wonderful technologists. But yet here, very quietly behind the scenes doing things, want to help. Yes, Sanalji.
Yes, friends, I hope you all are taking advantage of the PDF booklet that we send about breath mindfulness meditation. But a gentle reminder to please take time to finish the pre-assessment that we have sent. We use that significantly for our research, and it'll also, help you to map your own progress throughout this 40 days journey. So we'll be sending one in the middle of the program and also at the end of the program. So humble request again, please to take time to finish that. I will really appreciate that. That's all, sir, for today. Thank you.
Thank you all and have a wonderful day. So we'll see you again at 6 a.m. tomorrow, India time. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. We have a beautiful question here. It says, please accept my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you very much. I've been a Hatha Yoga practitioner for more than a decade. However, when it comes to meditation or savasana, I find it very difficult to calm my mind. Many thoughts arise and pass continuously. Compared to my physical practice, mental stillness feels much harder to achieve. I kindly seek your guidance.
Yes, we are a sensory being, and so anything to do with the senses is definitely easy. We are, of course, it's very conducive. So that we can be here in this body and form to experience life is just a way of one of the many dimensions that we're part of. But then, if we want to, of course, transcend beyond this body to know who we are, then mind has to be rested, because mind to matter it is. And so the mind is rested, obviously the matter dissolves, and so then we experience. And so it can appear to be a little daunting and challenging if we think that I have to control. If we accept that thoughts are part of the process, so let me just know the right technique, and so then you'll naturally go into those states in due course. So without necessarily judging that I've got a lot of thought is difficult, can we forever permanently remove that judgment and say, okay, I notice my thoughts, I'm going to breath. Can you just do that? Be there. 10 days, be there. 20 days, can you be there? What's the hurry? Just to get one song, one raga, just to know a little bit of it. It's not before 3 months you actually start singing when you get to music practice. So people know that. Not before 3 months you even get to complete basics before you go there. So this is also like that. Can we give ourselves 3 months time? Why is there it has to be 3 days or whatever? So if you do that, that's one. Number two, now there is a myth or wrong understanding that meditation means in the empty state. Not at all. We will go into emptier states without even our knowing. We go and sometime and then come back to thought. We go again sometime and come back to thought. That itself is sufficient to do wonderful things, to tap into that infinity, to experience that blissful, joyful, peaceful states. They will happen. What is required is that without judgment about how thoughtless I am or how many thoughts I'm getting to me, without judgment about it, we transcend that. Instead, we simply say, I'm very sincerely, I'm practicing, and then I wish to know myself. The intention is lacking. I wish to know myself, more about me. I wish to go into this inner depths of me, to tap into my intuition, to know the right thing to do next. And I wish to experience that deep calmness, that ocean of peace in me. And I wish to connect with that deep intelligence which guides me, my purpose. When you have the right intentions, then you ultimately go towards it. That's all it is. All right. So this practice will give us sufficient knowledge to move into right intentions and this program, and naturally then we will succeed for sure. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The next one is I was feeling some energy from my palm to the fingertips. And secondly, during some phase, I couldn't even move my body even a little when I tried. Can you share your thoughts on this experience?
Please answer that.
Some energy from palm to the fingertips, and secondly, during some phase, I couldn't even. It's because you're experiencing different bodies, different energy channels, and blocks are opening. So instead of analyzing, I think what I would say at this point is just be a witness and come back to your thoughts. Or if you're enjoying wherever you are, continue doing that.
Wonderful. So common experiences of fingers having that energy being felt. And second thing, You said a body did not move, it's frozen, right? What it said, body, I could not move the body. I could not move. Is that what it is?
Yeah, even when she tried.
You tried. So this is, do you remember a dream where in the dream you tried to shout, you tried to move a limb and then you couldn't? Do you have that? Please answer. How many people felt that in your dreams or in your sleep? Not in the dream, in sleep. In sleep, at times, something is going on and then you madly try, you shout and you try to open the mouth and nothing happens. You think you're true. Then you try to move hands, move legs and then don't move. You are like a dead person. The same situation will happen in meditation, where a body is completely transcended, our energy bodies. There's something called astral body that goes out, Sukshma Sharir Yan, that happens. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Dhyan, the seventh one, seventh limb Dhyan, is Dhi plus Yan. Sukshma Sharir, Yan means travel, Dhi means Sukshma astral bodies, Sukshma Sharir, true travel of that. It happens. We are energy bodies and we travel, and that's what dreams are about. Dreams are not just random things that are happening just because some hallucination. You're not understood, right? We read Seth books, this master Seth books, to understand how the nature of reality is. This is Seth, S-E-T-H, Seth, about this whole life and how things get created through this field. And so the experience you're going through is an experience where your energy bodies are actively there, as Sonalji said, are traveling and scanning the field, while your physical body is practically lying there. That's all it is. It's going to come back through a process called silver card, and many things are there. We need to read the spiritual science. Read a book by Robert Monroe. Out of the Body Experiences. Robert Monroe, very scientifically written book. It can help you to sort of understand some of these aspects and go further quickly. Yes.
Thank you, sir. The next one is, why it feels so rush and hassle every time? Although I try to be positive every time, what's the reason behind that? Knowing my environment is toxic, I try to know it and find a way out, but I always feel drained and feel in the same cycle of being sad and not affected by those toxic people.
You meditate and just practice these things, madam. Increase your understanding of life, knowledge, read books, and meditate. These two combination you will recognize and say where to make a change, and you'll make a change. Our environment influences significantly. There's a placebo research that tells that senior citizens, a group of senior citizens in a resort, kept within a week of time they spent there, became young, youthful in 1 week. They gained 20 years of youthfulness just by staying in a week of resort, by doing a few things, as the environment was giving them signals that, yeah, you're younger and younger and younger. So the environment has significant influence on us. So we need to be very, very recognize. Number one, be aware of the environment, of what we have around, and number two, and then have the knowledge to say it is useful, not useful. It's not useful. You will have sunenge to chodenge. We'll listen to them, but we forget and then do what we want. One thing. When you have the environment is toxic, we have the opportunity, we change it. But for that, first we have to change. What are we emitting? If I emit all good signal, good vibe, good energy, then there is an opportunity for them to change. But recognizing and then changing your environment by changing, helping them to change, or you change, meaning you move to a new place, new company, new system. Or third, you build a great wall inside you where nothing bothers you, right? You build a beautiful shield inside you with a stronger mind and understanding through meditation. So then you will know it. But just the answer is meditation and this program, more reading. And if you're doing that and still not getting it, then you're not interacting with the right set of people. You need to have a group of meditators around you. That satsangs must happen. If you do satsangs, if you do wisdom constantly, learn, and then you meditate, you will sure be out of the situation very, very quickly.
The next one, sir. Ma'am, we already talked about this, but because you have taken the time to write, I'm still going to say it, but please be sure to go see what sir answered yesterday in our discussion. The question is, I'm losing my energy very fast and getting fear of my life because I lost my job and I'm into huge financial debt.
Yeah. Increased understanding is necessary, madam, about life. What happens? Can I not stay for some time without job? Okay. The debtors come. Can we explain them? Okay. What are they going to do? They're going to put us in jail? Many things. We got to see. You got to ask yourself, why not? What happens? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? What's the worst thing that's going to happen? I don't have food. Is that the worst thing that's going to happen? None of those. Even if it's that, there's so many people. There is a master called Jasmine living on prana. At least 40,000 people just known to her through her who moved into living on prana and breath. I'm just talking about things here to say we increase our understanding. The moment we change our understanding, suddenly our anxiety drops, our thoughts change, suddenly you draw abundance, things will change for you. All it requires, in any case, is at this point what you may need is some quietness, some peacefulness to just resting the mind. So this meditation will help you to bring that quietness. And you're quieter, you'll develop a little more acceptance of it. I think those are required. So please do the meditation. But do read. Do read the book Conversation with God. It's full of packed wisdom. Every sentence, every page is full of it. Just read the book. Take this as a greatest opportunity right now that you have because you never pause for yourself. You pause now. You pause because the job may not be there. In fact, I love it. And I'm looking in my teams when the programs are produced and say, when is my window where I don't have to do anything? And so then I can go and read for myself. I'm looking for that. You got it. You got this on your platter given to you a whole bunch of time for you to explore yourself seriously and then become the greatest person. That's possible. All it requires is 6 months of intense practice and then knowing and reading. Suddenly you're a changed personality. Suddenly life is changing. Yes.
The next one, sir, is difference between meditation and mindfulness. Please describe the state of mind in both condition.
Meditation is mind emptiness, and mindfulness is to be full of what you're doing at that point. So we are mindful to begin with, to be with the breath in meditation, but then slowly we let go of it, and then you go into empty states of mind. Empty states of mind is to explore the infinite reality, the quantum field, the consciousness. Mindfulness is to explore fully what is there in front of me right now, fully with my senses. One experiencing the body, all the senses, all the emotions fully right in front is mindfulness, and meditation is to experience equivalent of this physical dimension is the infinite dimension field. Meditation is to experience that dimension fully. Here you experience, there you experience. Here you experience your physical senses, there you experience your extra senses. Right? That's the difference. You have whatever experience you have here can have there. For example, if I'm seeing a flower garden, I go there. Mindfulness is to be with that flower fully. Look at it, the beauty, the touch, the smell. Only fully are involved in it. So something beautiful happens. So you start appreciating the creation behind it. You start learning many things. How soft, how gentle. Maybe I need to be like that with other things. Can I be that way, soft and gentle? Many things come to us when I'm there in front of it, fully non-judgmental awareness. Non-judgmental awareness is when you experience something beautifully. If you're judgmental, then you're suddenly comparing this with something else, and so then you already lost what is new to be presented here. Are you with me on this? Now, same thing in meditation. When you're in the meditation, empty state, whatever is here physically is there in the infinite field because everything comes from energy, energy to matter. Here it's tiny 0.01%, that's infinite. And so then you are there, then suddenly the flower equivalent experience, you may have beautiful nature. This flower has, for example, there's 256 colors, that's all you can recognize, differentiate. There you will find an infinity of depth of colors that you will say, oh, I never experienced anything like this in my garden. I saw such a beautiful nature because that's infinite in dimension. So you can see unbelievable things there, so nature, but that's something an order of magnitude significantly bigger, better, greater, and beautiful. You'll experience the same there without judgment. It will be non-judgment here, non-analysis. There also no analysis. You're experiencing many things there. One of that is in a deep calm state, empty state. If you go into nature and you feel calm, if you don't have any job, any work, and anything, and you are one to understand, you feel very calm and peaceful, then in meditation you'll see the same, but in infinitely powerful, million times more powerful, million times more peaceful. That's all it is. The difference is that physical senses, extra senses, what we experience here, they're experienced a million times more deeply, right? That's how I differentiate between meditation and mindfulness, right? We have that ability to go there into the field. When people said the moment they go into meditation, they feel so good that sometimes people leave everything to go because they're blissful. They're blissful. That there's nothing to compare. You go there, all right? So it's that way. All experience are there, and it is for us to experience the field, not just the limited body alone. But knowing that I'm that, experiencing here fully is something more beautiful. You'll understand it when you go through this program.
Thank you, sir. The next one is I shift my mind to emptiness during meditation with knowing. Is this correct, or it should happen automatically?
It will happen automatically. So what you're doing is maybe helpful, but then the goal to go into automatic empty states is by observing the breath and slowly let the breath take you. How does it take? The breath becomes lighter, smaller, and to the point where you'll not have anything to notice, and that's suddenly the place where you've gone into emptier states. Another way, as you're observing, suddenly you forget to observe and also gone by then into an emptier state. Then you'll find yourself there either in thought or no thought state, or a state where nothing is around you. They'll happen in some way. You only start with observing the breath. It's too intelligent to put our logical mind. You observe, and at some point you'll find into empty states. If it didn't happen, that means thoughts come back. No problem. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
My guidance is saying, become aware of the emptiness is to move you into a little more deeper states for those of you who are already slipping into the trance-like empty states where you don't know where you are. This helps you to go deep. It's not asking you to create empty state. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Done?
One more question, sir. That it's from a youth. That how do we be alone and enjoy that?
Meditation. Just practice. This practice will give you enough strength, right? Your loneliness become aloneness. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. So are you enjoying?
Yes, absolutely, sir. Don't want to end. We could go on such a beautiful session.
We have to be like her. Smiling and our energy masters, smiling and bubbling and energy, and that's how we have to be, right? In life. That's what I learned from Sonalji. Okay.
That's what I learned. I got it as a gift back from this program and from all of you here. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Wonderful. So thank you all, dear friends. Enjoy your time and see you tomorrow again. Thank you.
Thank you. See you all again tomorrow at the same time. Great tech host here, great coordinators here. Thank you so much. Bye.